Unknown creatures launched an assault on Earth in 2093, while crime rates continue to rise. 2 years later, the human species entered a new era of peace when Zero, the first superhero in history, appeared. He defeated every evil monster, including their monarch, on his own. However, Zero ultimately vanished inexplicably after that. To get the full narrative, make sure to stay tuned until the end. 5 years after the protagonist vanished, the story opens with Jilin, who's actually Zero, witnessing an attack during a street play. During the course of the struggle, he's ultimately obliged to defeat a Class C villain who makes the situation relatively simple. An E-Class hero named Zhen Xiao observed everything and was impressed by the young man's abilities. He visits the young man's home and extends an invitation to join the Hero Association. Although Ji initially declines, his sister Yulin, who's constantly complaining about his brother's unemployment, coerces him into accepting because the boy promised him good money because his family was millionaires. The following day, when they arrive at the registration desk, Zhen Xiao shows Jilin a statue of Zero flanked by other SS-class heroes and claims that they were his combat partners. Jilin is perplexed because he doesn't recall fighting alongside them. After Zero vanished, a law requiring the registration of all superheroes came into force, classifying the fighters into groups with the highest levels being SS and S and 8 lower levels. However, his new acquaintance Ats has led to some conflicts among the heroes, leading many of them to go. The two then proceed to the examination room where they encounter Yatan, the examiner. Jilin had to battle and defeat him for 3 minutes in order to pass the test. Although Yatan proves to be a formidable foe, the young guy quickly dispatches him. The man had never lost, which impressed Zhen Xiao and the examiner's helper. Later, when they are checking Jilin's written test grade in front of a panel, Zhen Xiao begins to make fun of the boy when they discover what a terrible grade it was. The two then witness the torture of E-rank hero Cheng Yan by 3 D-rank assailants who went by the name of the Golden Triangle. The bullies make fun of the renowned hero Zero, which enrages the pair, who then chase after the trio. But before they can engage in combat, Shisan, another rank E hero, comes and scares the guys away. Jilin invites the young man to join his group after learning that they both like the same virtual girl during their conversation. However, when they inquire as to why the others have fled from him, Shisan replies that one of his specialties is bringing misfortune to those who are in his vicinity, causing concern in others. Additionally, he mentions that Zero protected him when he was a young child. However, as he talks about Zero's virtues, he becomes overly enthusiastic and causes a cave-in that completely ruins the area. As time goes on, we witness them fighting 2 opposing groups of criminals on their first mission. One who was trying to sell a chemical weapon that could produce a water monster, and the other 2 who wanted to purchase the experiment. The young people flee to the city while she unleashes a powerful attack on the monster, hurling it there. However, they eventually realize that the being was just a young girl. The gang is discussing Mumu's future the following morning when one of the city's top heroines, Xuan Dong, arrives. She claims that numerous organizations have appeared all over the world recently, with the true aim of using kids as test subjects for genetic research, with Mumu being the sole survivor of that. After more inquiry, they found that this was because Ri Uyang, president of the Hero Association, was an ally of the heroes. The young people who are contacted by members of the Golden Triangle as they wait for Yulin to take the little child to buy new clothes the following morning. They're told that they are looking for Xuan Dong at the request of the business president. The group soon returns to the store, where Yulin announces that he will look after the young child and that she will now be known as Mumu. We watch an assassin breaking into Zhen Xiao's home at night, but she mistakenly thinks the wealthy man is a puppet. And from that point on, nothing happens as planned, so the young woman flees. Another assassin who was plotting an attack while keeping watch over the brothers' flat was caught off guard by Jilin, who easily dispatched him despite his claims to be an A-class hero. Jilin commands him to go, but when he begins to threaten Mumu and Yulin, the young man snaps, changes his sword into the one Zero used, and delivers a blow so powerful that it creates a crater in the mountain. Later, we witness Xuan Dong introducing Ye Xiao to the group and promising to assist them in preventing the president from obtaining additional samples of a bioweapon. Ye Xiao successfully stops the helicopter from taking off as the bandits attempt to flee, but she's later attacked by rank A hunter Zhu Lije. Since she has no other option than to talk to Zhen Xiao after she sustains major injuries from the punches, he convinces the assassin to stop the fight by promising her a job so she can try a different life. They then confront the hunter, but it turns out to be a trap, and the hunter captures Ye Xiao in the force field. Then Zhu Lixie starts to beat up Xiangyan, who was still present despite having the capacity to teleport away, and doing so in order to defend his new friend. In the meantime, Dong struggles with Rui, but he outmatches her strength and quickly paralyzes her. The director of chemical industries utilizes the stimulant to become stronger after realizing he cannot compete with Jilin, but is still easily vanquished. Then, as Dong was about to be defeated, the hero comes to her aid and saves her, dealing a severe blow to the president. The group is seen in a hospital room a week later before Dong shows up and offers to arrange a special training session for them. Later, we witness Yingxiong, Dong's brother, announcing himself as a new organization president. Due to Jilin's potential, Yingxiong then invites her to join his family. Jilin, who was employed in a lab, is seen demonstrating an experiment to Dr. Muzili using the dog Mumu had adopted and was now able to read books and study on his own. Shisan witnesses Zihao Ouyang and his guard robots departing in the evening to retrieve Dong, who was forced to become his bride. When Shisan shoots Zihao, the man forces the girl into the car, where he proceeds to abuse her. Then one of the robots who had defeated the bomber approaches the young man who had just died and claims to have been given orders to kill him. Jilin, who had just appeared to save Shisan, then uses the fabled fire spirit sword to defeat all the machines. Later, the gang learns where Dong was being held and where the wedding ceremony was scheduled to take place the following day with the aid of the shrewd dog and Bu Feihua. Therefore, they devise a plot to invade the location. The men then came to an agreement that said if a member of the Ouyang family won the battle, the wedding would still go forward and Jilin would have to surrender his fabled sword, but if Zihao lost, they may go without incident. Jilin uses a halberd to start the battle, while Zihao just uses his fingers. Both competitors display tremendous skill, but Jilin emerges as the winner after using his dragon slash technique to smash his opponent multiple times and nearly knock him out of the battle. When Jilin reappears and strikes Zihao with a powerful finishing blow, the man appears to have triumphed at his peak condition. Then in a flashback, Dong uses the young woman's invention to increase his power while the lab where Jilin worked is completely destroyed. The heroes are seen celebrating their victory in the following frame, when suddenly a mental wave rushes through, paralyzing everyone but Jilin. In this manner, Young emerges now bald and with enhanced abilities, claiming to be a deity. The pretend god attempts a new attack by entering Jilin's thoughts, where he witnesses a girl dying in the young man's arms, along with several other creatures. Jilin ultimately releases his entire power and reverts to his previous identity as the famous hero Zero, as Yang suddenly awakens to reality and becomes furious. The bald man then inquires as to how Jilin became so strong. Young inquires about the identity of the girl from her recollections, but Jilin just states that she would prefer not to discuss it. Later, Jilin and her sister are swiftly seen standing near the lab debris, demonstrating that she was still alive. After a few days have passed, we can see the young man appreciating the sunset and thinking back on his time when Yang, the woman, soon shows up, stating that she was about to relocate to one of the riskier neighborhoods in order to work as an instructor of the academy there, but not before kissing him goodbye. In the post-credit sequence, a guy who's stranded on an island realizes that Zero is back after the young man and Yang's fight because of the power wave that was created. He vows to find Zero as quickly as possible. And that concludes the show. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel for more such exciting anime content and recaps. See you in the next video.